Hello, all my beautiful people, my confident, resilient, and empowered squad, I should say. Welcome to yet another empowering episode of Pep Talks with Megan De La Concha with your host, me. Yeah, that's right. I am so excited to have you guys here yet again. I know I say it every episode, but I have to because I am thrilled. This podcast brings me so much energy. It brings me so much joy. I am very passionate about it. And I consider myself so blessed and so lucky to be able to sit here on this platform and speak to you guys. So I hope that this episode and every episode therein blesses you or blesses somebody today, because that is my main goal and my main mission, my main purpose. You name it, that's what I am about. This episode is a little bit different only because it is sponsored. Yes, by who? Well, yours truly, of course. This episode of Pep Talks with Megan De La Concha comes to you from my new 6-week personal empowerment program. Yes, how I serve you on this podcast and how I serve you in this course, which is a live group coaching course with me as your guide. I empower women with confidence, resilience, and transformation through faith. So this 6-week course will teach you how to break toxic cycles in your life and how to find the grace that you need in order for you to become the woman you were always meant to be and live the life you were always meant to live. No shade, guys. Got a lot of love for you, but this is from my girls, okay? This is from me to my girls. This is our intimate setting. This is the sisterhood. This is the bond. And I am here for you. I am not the expert, but I am experienced. And my purpose and my story is to solely serve you. Why? Because you are worth it. I've been there to the very bottom and back. And life on the other side is so empowering, transforming, and most importantly, it is possible. So I'm so excited to announce that I will be launching soon Ashes to Grace, where we break toxic cycles through increased confidence, resilience, and transformation through 6 different modules known as the Grace Method. I am not going to give away all that juicy goodness. No. You got to come back. You got to come keep listening. I'm just dangling the carrot. But this episode is sponsored by that course. And also, what I'm going to be talking about today is going to be a little snippet, a little juicy nugget from that course. And that is all about habits, okay? And no, though they are important, this is not about making your bed in the morning, which is actually crucial and very significant to winning your day. And it's not about brushing your teeth or having, brushing your hair, doing all of the pretty necessary things you need to have just to have good health. These are habits that you practice in your life every single day that support the life you want to be living, not the life that you're living right now. And I'm not saying that there is anything wrong with the life that you're living now, but we are all looking to up our game, right? We are all looking to level up. I know I am. That's why I'm here. So I had to take a really deep look on what my habits were. And were they supporting the life that I was currently in, which honestly, filled with blessings, super grateful for it, but it was mediocre. How do I know that? Because I had a fire inside my belly and in my heart that just said there's more out there. And there's more out there for me. It's out there for me. And it's out there for every single person. The difference is some people choose to go after it. Some people don't. And that's okay. But it's not okay for me. For me personally, I am choosing to go get what is mine, to go get what is deserving, to get what's already been laid out for me by God Himself. But what habits, what am I doing on an everyday basis that is supporting the life that I want to live. Because the habits that I had, and habits can be positive or negative. Distraction can be a habit, right? You can get into the habit of being distracted constantly on social media. You practice that habit. Every time you're scrolling through social media and you're just going and going and going to the point where you're literally oblivious to everything else around you. Your spouse, your significant other could have been calling your name 5 times. Your kid could have been trying to show you something. You could be trying to do homework or listening to a lecture, and you've blocked everything out because you're just incessantly scrolling, numbly looking at things, and probably getting to the point where you feel yourself getting a little bit depressed. I mean, really, what is it that you're looking at? What are you looking for? But that is a habit that we are building constantly. You can have the habit of distraction. You can have the habit of procrastinating and being lazy. That is something that you build, and it's something that you practice. It's not just something that's just there. So we have to be aware of all of the things that we are doing on a daily basis, all of the things that we are practicing, and start to recognize and have discernment as to, are these things supporting the life I have now, or are they supporting the life that I want to have? So, as always, personal story. Going through this journey, leaving my 9 to 5, leaving the corporate world, and starting this podcast, and now launching this amazing transformational course that is 100% fully and solely my purpose. That is why God chose me to do this. But it requires, like everything else, and like my course, it requires the want to change. It requires the awareness that things need to change. I mean, your whole being is going to evolve. And you have to create these habits that foster confidence and build up resilience and support transformation. But it doesn't just happen overnight. Transformation doesn't just happen overnight. Confidence doesn't just happen overnight. Resilience doesn't happen overnight. No, it happens through what? Practice. Well, how do we practice confidence? How do we practice resilience? How do we practice transformation? We practice it through everyday things that we do in our life. We don't have to wait for a struggle. We don't have to wait for a challenge or, a bad season or a hard season or a challenging season to build our resilience. We build it every single day. It's a choice that we have every single day. And again, this is something that I teach in my empowerment course, because these are the things that we do every day that build the support, the foundation of what is needed in order to have true breakthrough and transformation. So for me, I had to take a really hard look, a deep look onto how were my habits supporting the life that I am wanting to live? And it really was, okay, am I taking care of myself first and foremost? Mentally, emotionally, and physically. What was my environment like? Is it messy and cluttered? Is it clean? Is it spacious? Is there space to create a wonderful flow of abundant energy? And yes, 100% I believe in energy and the flow of it, and bad energy. What was I manifesting in my space, in my environment? Was my desk clean? Were things filed away? Even in my home, did I have a junk drawer that was overflowing with junk? Were there dust bunnies in my closet? And the answer was yes. Yes. But also, What was I doing, with my financial health? Was I looking at my bank account at least twice a week, knowing what was going in, knowing what was coming out, knowing what was coming up? Was I aware of the responsibility that I had in paying bills and my husband has? Was I aware of what was coming in or what was going to be coming in? Did I have a plan for that? And also, again, physically, what was I doing for my mental health? What was I doing for my self-care? Was I taking the time to practice my yoga? Was I taking the time to go for walks? Was I taking the time to spend with my children? Was I taking the time to watch a baseball game with my son or my son playing it without being on my phone? Answering DMs, answering emails, creating another Instagram post. What was I doing for my self-care? What was I doing for my family time? What was I doing for my relationships? What habits was I practicing to support the life that I wanted? So I made a list of all these things. I made a list of or I made a story, and this can be in your mind. You don't have to write it on paper, but I will tell you, there is such power when you write things down. When you put pen to paper, when it goes from your mind and it flows through your hand, through the ink and onto paper, and you actually see it and you can read it back to yourself and it's out there. It is, once it's on paper, it is out there into the world, into the universe. That is a powerful, powerful thing. So I do recommend you write this stuff down because it's also good to go back to. We constantly have to be drawn back to what the goal is. What do we want to look like as a person? What do we want to look like as a spouse, as a friend, as a mother, as a confidant? How do we want our lives to look like? Down to, what are you driving? What house are you living in? I don't know if you've either never heard of visualizing and affirmations and speaking it into existence, or whether this is something you practice as well. But I practice it. And if this is your first time delving into or hearing these terms, I highly recommend you just Google it. And we will go over visualization and affirmations and all that stuff in another episode when I talk about morning routines. But right now, I want you to get in your mind years from now, and it doesn't have to be 20 years from now. The meme from SpongeBob, 2,000 years later. It does not have to be that way. You could be this person in 6 weeks. Wink, wink. No, but for real, it doesn't have to be a long time. Like, well, in 20 years, this is what I want to do. It can happen as early as within a year. But let's put ourselves out there so we get a really, really good grip on who it is you are and the life that you're living. So what things in your life do you either need to change, you need to shift, you need to cultivate as brand new, or you need to completely abolish from your life in order to get to where you want to be? Well, for me, I have a lot of goals these days. I left my 9 to 5. My only goal, quite honestly, down to it, was get up in the morning, get to work on time, clock in, work for 8 hours, clock out. That was my goal. Every single day, Monday through Friday. On the weekends, I rested. That was it. That was it. Kind of easy peasy, right? But now that I have this huge responsibility that I'm working from home, and I want to build these courses, and I want to build these products, and I want to produce this podcast, and I want it to serve so many people. I want it to build a community. I want it to touch the lives of others. I have a responsibility to do that. So what things in my life needed to change so that I could kill these goals? Because I have a plan for the year, and every quarter is broken down into action steps. But what habits was I practicing to support this? And in the beginning, I didn't have very good habits. Nutrition, I've always been a fairly healthy person, but I wasn't focused on it. I wasn't focused on my physical activity. I got it in when I got it in. I liked sitting on the couch and watching, the Bravo channel, all my housewives, or um, what is it? Below Deck Mediterranean specifically. Loved it. I loved that. It was relaxing to me. Was it a habit, though, that was a self-care habit as far as taking a rest, or was it a habit of laziness and kind of procrastination? So I had to write out the steps, the habits that I wanted to have in my life in order to get these goals done so that I could have the life I wanted to live and I could be who I wanted to be, not just for me, but for you. So, for instance, the habits that support that is alcohol. I definitely enjoy wine for sure. I definitely enjoy whiskey. I enjoy a beer. I enjoy 3 to 4 glasses a night. Not every night, but when I would have some. But here's what I found out. I'm older than I was at 25, and it didn't affect me. I've had 2 children. My metabolism has changed. My chemical makeup, my cellular structure has changed. I can't handle that much anymore. And you guys, I'm not going out getting sloshed and wasted. But I will say that even just a few years back, the way 2 glasses of wine hits me now, you would have thought I drank the whole bottle. I wake up with a headache. I wake up tired. I wake up unfocused. I wake up with a foggy mind. And I kept trying to tell myself, it's not that. It's not that. You just need to drink more water in between glasses, or you just need to do this, or maybe drink earlier in the evening. And it was like, so I tried to adjust all these different ways until I just realized that there were so many days that I was not getting up at the time I wanted to get up. I want to get up at 4:35 in the morning because of my morning routine. And because I want to practice these things that allow me to win the day, that build my confidence, that build my resilience, and that build my transformation. But I realized that when I would have 2, 3 glasses of wine a night, I wasn't doing that. I would wake up with a headache. I wasn't spending as much time as I wanted to with the Lord, if I spent any time at all. I wasn't I wasn't getting up at 5 o'clock. I was getting up at 7 when I absolutely needed to get up because I had to get my kid to school. So that was not supporting the life that I want to have because it was not allowing me to kill the goals that I had. Not being physically active makes me feel sluggish. It makes me feel disconnected. It doesn't bring focus, and it makes me tired when I'm not physically active. So neglecting yoga or neglecting a walk or any type of physical activity was not a habit that was supporting the life that I want to live. And it really doesn't have anything to do with the way I look. It's really the way that I feel. So I made it a point to practice yoga every single day. And I would give myself 2 days of rest, of course. But I practiced 20 to 50 minutes of yoga a day. I put that in, that's a non-negotiable. Of course, unless I'm sick, but it's a non-negotiable because that is a habit that supports the life I want to live. It keeps my blood flowing. It keeps my oxygen levels steady. It decreases my stress. It brings my energy level. It allows me to sleep better. It allows me to be in a more meditative state, especially if something is bothering me or if I feel resistance. It opens up my body. It opens up my mind. It allows everything to just flow, the creative juices, the focus, the shift, the self-discipline. There's so much to learn from taking care of yourself, especially in yoga. So that was a non-negotiable. So what do I have so far? I'm not going to go all out and say that I'm not drinking. I am, but I am very strategic. I actually plan the nights that I'm going to drink. So if we have a family gathering, or if my husband and I are out on date night and it's a Friday night or something, or even if it's during the week, if I plan ahead and I say, you know what, Saturday is just going to kind of be like my Netflix and chill type of day. So yeah, I'm going to have some wine tonight. I plan it out. But if I have a podcast to record, if I have phone calls with clients, if I have a deadline for my course that I set for my own self, I'm not drinking the night before, because I want to set myself up for greatness. And it all rolls into one. The habits that I set at night, I'm not drinking the night before. I'm not going to eat late night. So that way I'm going to go to bed. I'm not going to go to bed at 11 o'clock, 11:30. I'm going to go to bed at 10:30 at the latest, so that I know I'm getting enough sleep. And then the next day, I'm going to get up, do my morning routine. And at 10 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock is my yoga time. So these are all the habits. I hope that you're seeing and you're recognizing that these are all habits that are supporting the life that I want to be living, and are supporting the woman that I am growing to be. I make sure that what I put in my body is as nutritious as possible. Do I want that pizza, leftover pizza in the fridge that we got the kids last night? Yeah. And I want it at 8 o'clock in the morning. But I know that when I eat it, I'm going to feel dehydrated. I'm going to feel sluggish. I'm going to feel fat. I'm going to feel bloated, and I'm not going to feel good. And when you don't feel good, you don't act good. When you don't practice a supportive, positive habit, and you practice the opposite, it just rolls into the rest of your day. Okay, so if I eat that pizza at 8 o'clock, do you really think I'm going to do yoga at 9:30? No. Or 9:30, 10, because I don't want to get into yoga pants. I'm bloated now. I feel sluggish now. I don't have energy now. So man, I'm just going to skip it today. It's just so easy. It's so easy to walk off that cliff and just keep going. So drink your water. Get that extra hour of sleep. Know what your sleep time is. And it's not even about the quantity of sleep, as we all know. It's about the quality of sleep. I could go to bed at 9 o'clock and have had a few drinks, maybe some late night tacos, go to bed, or ice cream, go to bed at 9:30, get up at 5, and be like, oh my God, I feel like such crap. Or I could eat a well-balanced, healthy meal with water, a cup of herbal tea at night, go to bed at 10:30, maybe even 11, wake up at 4:30 and be like, dang, I feel good. And that rolls into the next day. And that supports my confidence because I'm getting more done. So I feel confident. I'm celebrating the wins. Yes, I nailed that action step. Yes, I finished that module. I finished that worksheet. I took care of my back end business stuff. I recorded 2 podcasts. I got my content down and scheduled. I got the house clean. I spent time with my kid. I got my yoga in. That is all confidence building. I am that bee today. I am that woman today. That's how I walk around feeling. But when I don't practice those supporting habits, or I make different decisions, I don't feel good. I feel doubtful. I feel, who am I to do this? Look at me. Oh my gosh, the self-loathing is insane. So I encourage you to look at what habits are you practicing, and do they support the woman you want to be, the man you want to be, and do they support the life you want to live, or are they supporting the life that you live now? Because if you're unhappy and you're unfulfilled, you're going to look for things to fill that void. And that's either shopping excessively for things that you don't need, which drives your finances into the ground, which causes stress, or you're going to drink more because you really don't have goals to live for. You're not going to care what you put inside your body. You're not going to care if you go for a walk or not. You're going to take more naps. And naps are essential, but is it a nap because you're tired and you need rest, or is it a nap because you're bored and you just want to escape what you're feeling? So for me, it is physical activity every single day so that my stamina, my resilience, my physical strength, and my mental strength is at top notch. I can take on what the day brings at me. I can take on my work. I have focused goals. I am clear on my goals. I am ready to do it. It's also being mindful of my drinking. If I decide to have a drink, it is planned out. If we have an impromptu cookout or an impromptu family get together, I'm not drinking. And I'm making that choice. It doesn't mean I don't want to, but I'm making that choice because I got to get up the next morning and I got to kill that day because I have client phone calls. I got to show up for them. I have podcasts to record. I have a course to create, and I need to show up and put my best work in. So I'm not going to make that decision tonight because tomorrow means more to me. I'm going to eat. I'm going to keep myself healthy. Will I have an occasional burger? Yeah, absolutely. Will I have the occasional pizza? Of course. But every other time, I'm going to make sure I get a healthy, well-balanced meal. I'm going to make sure I drink my water. I'm going to make sure that I put my time in with the Lord. I'm going to make sure that I get up and I do my morning routine. I'm going to make sure that I answer my emails. And we will get into morning routines later because I have a really good episode on that. So just wait for that. But right now, I just want you to take a look at what your habits are now that are supporting the current life that you live. And I want you to think about the life that you want to be living. Go all out. Do not hold back. I'm not kidding. Nothing is too big or bold. Whatever. If you want to live in a house that has gold-plated floors, please put that in your mind. Put it down. Put it on your vision board. I do not care. Go to the extremes. Expect the unexpected. Have crazy, awesome visions and goals of what you want your life to be and who you want to be. And then I want you to think of the habits that support that person, that support you in a few years, that support the life that you're living. And I want you to start living those habits, creating and living and practicing those habits, because guess what? Those habits, those supporting habits are going to create everything that you are envisioning yourself to be and the life that you're envisioning to live. And it starts today. You don't create those habits when you get to that point, because let me tell you something. If you don't have those habits today, you're never going to get to that point, because those habits are what build you. Those habits are the steps to get you to that point. So if you don't practice those today, you're not taking steps. So start living like you're already in that position. Have habits like you are already that person. And every day you're going to build your confidence and you're going to build your resilience. And guess what? That is the foundation of the pillars of transformation and faith. You're going to grow your faith every single day. I urge you to do that. I really do. And take note and start practicing it. The next episode, we're going to talk about morning routines. So we're going to take those habits that you've already laid out for yourself, and now we're going to strategically put them into place on the best time of the day for you, for your lifestyle, so that you can achieve them without overwhelming yourself, and by giving yourself grace to allow yourself to build on these habits. Thank you so much for joining in and tuning in and listening. I hope this blesses you today. Please check me out at megandelaconcha.com Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook. All my information is below. Remember to like, subscribe, and share to someone that this will speak to as well. Have a blessed week, y'all.